It's something that you never imagine, that your child may not be able to hear you say, "I love you."
What was your initial reaction when you found out that your child was deaf or losing hearing?
Initially, I was very upset. She was in the hospital for a week after she was born, and that's when it was discovered that she might have some sort of hearing loss. And initially I was completely distraught, and it was very difficult, but I immediately jumped into action and wanted to know what I needed to do next. So, how about you?
I found out my daughter was losing her hearing when she was about 4. She had progressive hearing loss, and it was getting worse. And it wasn't something that was sudden. It was something that I knew. I just didn't realize how bad it was going to be. And then it just, it was just okay, where do we need to go? What do we need to do? Who do I need to, get in contact with and start this ball rolling?
By 2 months old, she had the hearing aids. And then when we went 6 months later for a checkup, it was determined that her hearing loss was progressively getting worse. So by the time she was 2, she was at the 80 decibel, or about 70 decibels. So it was just a progressive hearing loss that they said, we may not ever be able to tell you why. And that was difficult, just not knowing. Again, what did I do? What could I have done differently?
Yeah, it's the same thing with me, because it's like, why did she lose it? Yeah, it's ear infections, but all kids get those. But,
right.
It's just a not knowing. I mean, at least knowing she doesn't have the gene for it is one good thing.
Right.
But the fact that she, all of a sudden, why my kid kind of thing happened, did I do something wrong somewhere along the line, or something that would make this happen? And so it's a lot of self-blame, a lot of...
Yeah, it's tough. I had friends who were having children, and all of their children were fine. They didn't have any sort of hearing loss or birth defects, so it was very difficult to learn that my child did have a birth defect, and that we may not ever know. Whenever my younger daughter was born, I experienced my daughter's hearing loss all over again. I immediately became withdrawn about it, just because the realization hit me. I have one child who can hear, a normal child, so to speak, and then I had a child that still had struggling hearing loss that there still wasn't a fix for. So it was difficult to relive that.
It is. It's amazing what we have to go through as moms to get our kids where we want them to be.
Yes, yes.
What thoughts went through your head about your child's future when you learned your child was deaf?
I immediately became concerned about how she would kind of be normal with the other children. I was really worried about whether or not she would be able to be in a mainstream classroom with other peers that may not be like her. I also really was worried that she may never hear us tell her we love her.
My first concern was, I'm a single parent, so my first concern was if something were to happen to me and she had this to deal with, there would be nobody there to help her. Initially, her future, I was like, what in the world is this going to be like for a child who has hearing and has lost it? And so I was scared for her. I was more scared for her to be able to be all she wants to be when she grows up.